Here's Donald Trump saying the thing that launches 1,000 think pieces.
Do you believe that Vice President Kamala Harris is only on the ticket because she is a black woman?
Well, I can say no. I think it's maybe a little bit different. So I've known her a long time indirectly, not directly very much. And she was always of Indian heritage, and she was only promoting Indian heritage. I didn't know she was black until a number of years ago when she happened to turn black, and now she wants to be known as black. So I don't know, is she Indian or is she black?
She has always identified as
people are laughing.
Black.
Amazing.
I respect either one, but she obviously doesn't, because she was Indian all the way, and then all of a sudden she made a turn and she became a black person.
Okay, so she became a black person is the line that they're using. Now, you understand that he's doing basically an analysis of code switching here. Okay, with that said, is this like a well-stated claim? I do not think it is a well-stated claim. I do not think it's an effective claim. I think everyone knows Kamala Harris is black. I think Kamala Harris, again, went to Howard University. I think Kamala Harris has pretty obviously campaigned, in fact, as a black woman. She was selected for the vice president based on the fact that she was a black woman by Joe Biden, who said so at the time. And this has been it's not as though this is like an infrequent conversation. The reason that she's frequently referred to as Indian American in very early headlines about her is because Barack Obama had already been the first black president. So no one cares about the second black anything. They care about the first blank something. So first Indian American, first woman, right? That in any case, is that going to damage Trump? So the media seem to think this is like a kill shot on Trump or something. It is not, of course. That's incredibly silly. What it is a missed opportunity for Trump. Because he has an opportunity when he goes into a hostile environment like the NABJ to really change the topic to the media being in the tank for Kamala and Kamala not being here answering questions and her being radical and you targeting me while she's made life for black Americans significantly worse with her inflation, with her terrible foreign policy, with illegal immigration. And you can see the Trump campaign trying to do this. So the Trump campaign, in the aftermath of this, they put out a statement from Lynn Patton, the senior advisor. Quote, President Trump has continually said that unlike Kamala Harris and Joe Biden, he's running to be president for all Americans. And if you're running to unite the entire country, you have to back it up with action like President Trump did today at the National Association of Black Journalists Conference in Chicago. Members of the media need to make a decision and answer if their goal is to unite the country or further divide us. Because based on the unhinged and unprofessional commentary directed toward President Trump today by certain members of the media, many media elites clearly want to see us remain divided. This is unacceptable. The invasion happening on our southern border is leading to poverty, death, and destruction in communities of color all across our country. Inflation and affordability of everything from groceries to rent costs is crushing black and Hispanic voters at an even higher rate than many other groups. The endless wars being pushed by career politicians like Kamala Harris and Joe Biden is leading to countless black and Latino lives being needlessly lost. Okay, that paragraph is what Trump should have said at the NABJ. That paragraph's like the whole thing. Instead, the headline that comes out is something that doesn't really damage Kamala and doesn't really damage Trump. That's again, the left is trying to play this as, oh my God, I can't believe Trump damaged himself so bad. Nah, can't add noise to that noise. Can't do it. Not possible. Did it change the trajectory with regard to the coverage of Kamala Harris? No, it provided her an opportunity to continue putting nice noises into that phone line about unity and how this is just so negative and it's just so bad. And oh man. Here was Vice President Harris responding.
Donald Trump spoke at the annual meeting of the National Association of Black Journalists. And it was the same old show. The divisiveness and the disrespect. And let me just say, the American people deserve better. The American people deserve better. The American people deserve a leader who tells the truth, a leader who does not respond with hostility and anger when confronted with the facts.
She's such a liar, and she is hostile and angry.
That's what understands that our differences do not divide us.
She literally has white dudes for Kamala.
Of our strength.
She's the worst. She's the worst. Why aren't you attacking her on this stuff? She's the worst. Her entire campaign is racially segregated. What the hell are you doing? Run on that. Go to the NABJ and say, you know what I noticed about my opponent who's not here? Saying the thing. I know she's not here answering questions as to why she has a segregated group called white dudes for Kamala or white women for Kamala. Please explain why that's okay. Please, somebody. Got to change the signal. Got to change the noise that's coming from that Kamala Harris phone. Got to do it. Well, if the white dudes for Kamala have their way, she'll be elected president of the United States. And that would mean, of course, climbing crime rates, which is why now you might want to think about getting a Byrna. I'm about as pro-Second Amendment as it gets, but the thought of using lethal force, it's not like the ideal if you can avoid it. Also, God forbid, you don't want to make a mistake and use deadly force against somebody you didn't need to. Introducing the Byrna Ungun, the non-lethal self-defense platform. Lightweight, simple to use. It uses an easy-to-load 5-round magazine and is powered by an 8-gram CO2 cartridge. Byrna launchers fire a 68 caliber chemical-filled projectile using patented pull-pierce technology, where the CO2 canister is only punctured on the first trigger pull. That means your launcher is always at the ready. It's capable of incapacitating an attacker for over 30 minutes. It's accurate and effective at over 60 feet. It requires no permits, no background checks. It is interstate travel friendly. With Byrna, you will be prepared to defend. The Byrna is a safer, more sensible alternative that could potentially save lives on both sides, protecting both user and aggressor. Visit Byrna.com/Ben for 10% off your purchase. That's BYRNA.com/Ben. Check out the latest news about Byrna. That's BYRNA.com/Ben. Again, Byrna.com/Ben for 10% off your purchase. Back during the first Trump administration, a bunch of friends in the White House, I remember having conversations with them. And one of the things that would happen is Trump would say something kind of crazy on Twitter, and I'd have a conversation with somebody in the White House, and they'd say, it doesn't matter. Nothing matters. And nothing matters was kind of like the bumper sticker. And that was true, because again, it turns out that you cannot change the noise coming from the Donald Trump campaign phone. You cannot. It is not possible. However, when he's not the president and he is running for the presidency, he desperately needs to change the direction of Kamala Harris's campaign. That's what he needs to do. Like right now, it is very, very important. And she is intensely vulnerable on all of this. Really vulnerable. And I cannot believe, the media are they're such effing trash. They are such trash, truly. The questions that Trump were asked, those questions that Abby Phillip was celebrating from CNN, she put out a tweet saying, quote, folks, this is why you let journalists ask questions. The country deserves answers. Why don't you ask Kamala Harris a question? One question. She's been the vice president for the last 3.5 years. She has covered up her boss's senility and continues to do so today. She is complicit in every policy of the Biden administration. Every failure is on her. She's the VP. She's shifting all of her positions in real time. And you're asking Donald Trump about that time that he said something about the Central Park 5 back in 1998? Seriously, shut the F up. You got to be kidding me. Really? That's some journalism. Serious. Somebody must ask Trump tough questions. Yes, no, you're right. No one has asked Trump anything for the past 10 years. We don't know anything about him. He's a mystery wrapped in enigma. Or alternatively, you are all abdicating your job because you're all campaign apparatchiks for Kamala Harris. You're all going shopping with her. And do you remember the story from a few years back where Kamala Harris, she actually went shopping with journalists? It's amazing. Go back a few years, and she actually went shopping with journalists during the 2019 campaign. And the journalists recommended what she should actually buy. They're like, you should buy this amazing sequin jacket. This is February 22nd, 2019. On the campaign trail, Kamala Harris tries on a sequin jacket, and men go nuts. You know who it was recommended by? One of the journalists she was traveling with. It's pathetic. The political reporters covering Harris's South Carolina visit tweeted videos and photos of her as she preened in front of a mirror wearing the coat. It was a spontaneous campaign trail moment, unexpected and a little bit playful. This is, again, the kind of coverage she received early in the 2019 campaign. And this is the great hope, of course, is that it's still just August 1st. But the Trump team needs to get on its horse because the media are not going to do their job. They're deliberately not going to do their job. They're going to lie. They're going to cheat. They're going to hide. This is what they're going to do. They're going to let Kamala Harris go 12 full days without asking a question. Without being asked any questions at all. None. Zero. She's going to get all the way through the end of next week before anyone even thinks about asking her a question. The DNC is taking place. It begins August 19th. It is currently August 1st. They're going to try to get all the way through the end of the Democratic Convention, August 22nd, asking her zero questions. And by that point, folks, this election is already getting baked in because the early voting begins in Pennsylvania the beginning of September. And I promise you, the Democratic get out the vote machine is professional. The Trump team has to be focused on a few key things. One, they need an amazing get out the vote effort, like an amazing get out the vote effort. I don't know who's handling it. Whoever's handling it needs to be doing an amazing job. Two, the Trump team needs to redirect toward Kamala Harris and her vulnerabilities, not toward her race and her racial identity, not toward whether she passed the bar, not even toward Willie Brown and her pathetic career beginnings. They need to focus on Kamala Harris and what she will be as president, because it's going to be absolute garbage terribleness, and the media will not do their job. In fact, they are doing their job. They're the Praetorian Guard for Kamala Harris. Are you tired of the lies and the twists of the mainstream media talking points? Yeah, me too. Join me in my newest series, Fact, where I dismantle and bring truth to this tiring mainstream agenda.